Welcome to Comotion Daily. So we've just spent a sweltering week in Berlin talking about the future of insurance, talking about the future of pension funds. And I think there's a number of trends that are actually quite interesting and might change the way that we look at these things. So one example is genetics. The life insurance industry is just waking up to the value that genetic testing can bring, but as you can imagine, everyone's a little bit scared of it. Everybody's a little bit wary of including genetic testing in life insurance underwriting. But one thing's for sure, it's generating a huge amount of data, and individuals are doing it. So if individuals are doing it, that means that life insurers are going to have to respond in a way that prevents individuals from anti-selecting against them. But one challenge in the technology space is going to be, how do you deal with all that data? How do you look for those markers that might lead to increased risk? So it's really a big data problem. That's something that insurers are going to have to think really hard about. So I really had planned to interview a couple of people at the conference, but it was just too crazy. So I didn't manage to get as many discussions done as I'd have liked. The other quite interesting trend, and it's really a maturing of a trend, is the use of machine learning and AI in doing a couple of things in the insurance space. One of them is dynamic pricing. So prices in the short-term insurance and your motor and home insurance are set dynamically, which means that you have machine learning models, taking data in, understanding how people are purchasing, understanding what competitive pressures there are at that moment in time, and setting a price. There's been some success there, but not without controversy. In a couple of the markets that this has been used at, particularly in Europe, there's been significant controversy over different kinds of people getting different prices for effectively the same thing, and you can imagine the controversy around that. It's been quite big in the newspaper. So just a lesson to learn to use machine learning and AI with care. So one or two of the other things that are being explored in the machine learning space is for reserving in the actuarial space. The one problem with that is that it's very difficult to figure out why a machine has given the answer that it's given. So machine learning takes in a lot of data, or your machine learning algorithm takes in a lot of data, whether it's a neural net or something like that. It learns from the data, produces some kind of answer, makes a decision, but if someone questions the decision afterwards, it's very difficult to replicate. One example was the owner of Sixt Car Hire. Well, one of the CEO of Sixt Car Hire, Alexander Sixt, said that they use a machine, or they're exploring using machine learning for pricing just for rental cars. He gave a very interesting address at the conference, and his comment was that once a price has been given and set, he absolutely cannot trace why it was done. He cannot trace how the decision was made to set that price. Now that's fine for car hire. But what about insurance, where there's a bunch of regulatory issues around it, and a bunch of social issues around it, and for that matter, risk issues. So if you have a problem in your neural net somewhere, a problem in your machine learning algorithm somewhere, how do you trace it, and how do you figure out where it went wrong? So yeah, very interesting discussion at the conference.